What's going on, Jerome? So day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft is in the books. Second and third round went down on Friday evening as the Wolves were whipping some ass. Thank you. It's good against the Lakers. But, of course, the story is Shedeur Sanders not being drafted. But don't let that overshadow that there's some very damn good players that went off the board. And we talked about how the meat, M-E-A-T, of this draft, the thickness is going to be from picks 15 to 100 and crested 100 at the back end of the third round with the comp picks, and there's some good dudes, man. All right, so at the top of the second round, Carson Schwarzenegger, former walk-on to All-American, tackling machine, downhill. He goes to the Browns. The Browns had 2 of the first 4 picks. Judkins also goes to the Browns. I think that's going to be really fantastic. All right, Joe Flacco needs a running game. Something like that. The Texans, so they doubled down on Iowa State receivers. They took Higgins, and then a little bit later on, teams, enhance. Yeah, I really like what Texans did, where it was a combination of a little bit of BPA, because Higgins is a stud, man. Ursery, they definitely need help along the offensive line. What's my ad now? HelloFresh? HelloFresh. Also, Jalen Noel from Iowa State, so doubling down there. Jalen Smith was a little bit of a head scratcher, so they traded up with the Vikings at 97. A little bit of a pick swap. Vikings improved day 3 by moving down 5 spots in day 2. But Jalen Smith, so I like Jalen Smith. A little bit surprised that he was a third-round pick because a lot of people had late day 3 grade on him. But, of course, evaluations are all different, and teams certainly may see things a little bit differently than draft Twitter. All that stuff. But Emin Warren goes to the Seahawks. They trade up to go get him. I respect that because a lot of comps suit him and Cam Chancellor. I think he's a better cover safety than Chancellor, but when he's on, he can hit. But the question is, he's sometimes off. Yeah, but Emin Warren, physical free, going to Seattle. I think that's smart for Mike McDonald and his defense. Savanaya. So listed at guard. They may have him play tackle, but we'll see. Trevon Henderson, I think that's great for the Patriots. Great pass protector, dynamic playmaker for them as well. LB3, Luther Burden III goes to the Bears. Bust. Tyler Shuck. So now it started getting weird. All right, so everyone expected Shedeur to be at the top end of day 2. Didn't happen. Tyler Shuck goes to the Saints. I don't know. Like, Tyler Shuck is basically just old Spencer Rattler. That's about it. TJ Sanders goes to the Bills. So, of course, Shedeur wasn't even the first Sanders taken. Love him paired up with Ed Oliver. Mason Taylor goes to the Jets. So, remember, Jason Taylor actually played for the Jets for a couple of seasons during the Rex Ryan era. But Mason Taylor going to the Jets, another great weapon for Justin Fields. Alfred Collins for the 49ers, and I like what the 49ers did, basically doubling, tripling down. Alfred Collins, Michael Williams in the first round, it's good. Donovan goes to the Cowboys. JT goes to Ohio State. Ferguson is off the board. Maybe a little bit of estate planning for Higbee. Ferguson I like coming out of Oregon. Will Johnson, his draft day slide stops with the Cardinals now. Obviously some concern about the knees, but if he's good to go, I mean, the Cardinals got themselves a potential a guy that probably should have been a top 10 pick in this draft who's healthy. Texans, like we said, taking Ursery. Demetrius Knight, tackle machine, going to the Bengals. I like what the Bengals did. So basically, they said, hey, we have to get something from our draft picks on defense. So first 2 picks, taking Stewart and Knight. Gambling a little bit with Stewart. Knight is rock solid. I like that they got Fairchild too. That's good because with the huge contracts now, like they have to start hitting on some of the rookie picks. Also, Arroyo going to Seattle. Slinging Sammy Darnold gets a great tight end. Scorton, I think, is great value here for the Panthers. Morrison. So it's kind of cool. So Morrison's pops was a DB with Washington back in the day, and he was actually teammates with Bowles, Todd Bowles for a season, which is kind of cool. So the draft phone call, Morrison, very emotional. But he's like, say hi to your pops for me. That's great. I love stuff like that, man. But Morrison, if that hip labrum is good to go, I mean, the Bucs are in business because I think the Bucs doubled down on defensive backs. I think that's what they did. TB, enhance. So Ibuka in the first round, yeah. Then Morrison and Parrish on day 2. I think that's smart. That's definitely smart because now Jamel Dean has to step up. I know. And then we talked about there was a run on offensive linemen in the NFC North. Belton, Trapillo, as well as Tate Ratledge. I think Ratledge is a fantastic fit for the Lions. Don't tell him I said that though. Basically because they are scared of Hargrave and Allen coming in. All right, so they're loading up. Mike Green goes to the Ravens. Now, Mike Green dropped for a myriad of reasons, and yeah, Baltimore with Justin Tucker on the roster. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there, but I mean, Green is a very productive player on the field, right? A little bit undersized, but Jack Betch goes to the Raiders. I think that's a really nice spot for him. Geno, he gets a tall receiver, and Jack, like his brother unfortunately died during the New Orleans attack, and it's just a really special moment with him and his family on TV. It was good, man. Stupid Broncos. I hate that the Broncos actually had a really damn good draft so far. I hate it. So Jahdae Barron at 20. Then R.J. Harvey in the second round. Pat Bryant, I love. And Savion Jones on the edge. I mean, that's a good start to their draft class, man. I hate it. R.J. Harvey is going to be this year's Bucky Irving. So Harvey and Estime, fourth-round pick last year from Notre Dame. That's a good backfield, man. Shamar Turner, they're betting on. Amos goes to the Commies. Omar Norman Lott, pressure machine, goes to the Chiefs, as well as Makuba. I hate the Eagles, man. So Makuba goes to Philly, and now they have Makuba, Blankenship, as well as Cooper DeJean, as well as Quinton Mitchell back there. I mean, it's just so stupid. I hate it here. So they get Heidi Campbell, they get Makuba. Two great pieces for that defense. Just so stupid. Round 3, fight. Darius Alexander, who I think could have been potentially a first-round pick, but pressure machine coming out of Toledo. Ashton Gelati going to Kansas City. I think that's Gelati just gets buckets, man. I really respect that. The Browns getting Harold Fannin Jr., so I think Stefanski could have fun with Fannin. I think that he's undersized, sure, but yards after catch, broken tackles, super interesting. And, of course, breaking all those records for receptions and yards, Maction. So I actually really like the Browns draft, even though they took Dillon Gabriel, which I'd be more upset that Dillon Gabriel went ahead of, like, Will Howard in the spot, or even Quinn Ewers. But, Gabriel, who's, like, 5'9" and left-handed, I don't know. But, of course, him over Shedeur Sanders, too. Because, I mean, the Browns were one of the teams that met with Shedeur, and they had literally 5 chances to take him. They're like, nah. But Mason Graham, Schlesinger on that defense is great. And then Fannin and Judkins are going to be 2 great pieces to that offense moving forward. I actually like their draft a lot. Porter goes to the Raiders. Kyle Williams goes to the Patriots. So this is a good draft for Drake May. So he gets his backside protector with Will Campbell, Trevion, Kyle Williams, as well as Jared Wilson. Hey, they got to look at Garrett Bradbury for 6 months, and they're like, we need to draft his replacement right away. But Wilson, maybe he'll vie for one of the guard spots, but the center of the future is in the building there. Then Tesla. I mean, this was a stupid trade up by the Lions because they gave up a third in the trade, as well as 2 future thirds next year to get Isaac Tesla. I know you're betting on traits. The pride of Hillsdale was sort of whatever during his season at Arkansas, but it's a big-time gamble. Jackson to the Bills, I like. Azrae Thomas. Aaron Glenn gets a nice corner on the outside, lengthy glider. Pat Bryant is super fit. We said, like, our vote for the Puka of this draft would be Pat Bryant. Super physical, man. I love it. Siobhan Revelle goes to the Cowboys. They're worried about that ACL, but he takes a little bit of a tumble. Jordan Birch, another great piece of that Oregon defensive line, goes here. I think Caldwell got drafted too. Didn't he? Jalen Noel from Ohio State goes to Texas, like we said. Justin Wally from Minnesota. Little inside-outside going on there. Now, actually, he's probably going to play mainly slot in the NFL, but it's weird since they have Kenny Moore. But I guess he is aging out a little bit. Fairchild goes to the Bengals, like we said. Winston goes to Winston. Parrish is a nice quarterback compliment to Benjamin Morrison with the Buccaneers. Noah Williams, who everyone liked a lot, he goes to the Chiefs. So everyone's sort of cooking with gas at this point. Jamari Caldwell, superb nose tackle. He ends up with Harbaugh and the Chargers. Savon Williams, 6'4", Cordero. So it's kind of stupid because now the Packers, I feel like they're just showing off because of the draft being Green Bay. So Golden, Belton along the offensive line, Savon Williams, that's a nice 1, 2, 3. Yeah, but again, don't tell him I said that. Wyatt Millam goes to Rakestraw and Millam back to back. I like that. Milroe goes to the Seahawks. So of course, yeah, everyone's just like, oh, this should have been Shador, this should have been whatever. But Jalen Moreau and Sam Darnold, both plus athletes or something. Jonah goes Xavier Watts. So the Falcons came up, sort of sniped Xavier Watts. Could he have been interested with? Could the Vikings have been interested? Maybe, maybe not. Right? Because if they're really interested in Watts, could they have moved up to secure him? It's very possible. But then Texas traded in. They took Jalen Smith. Then I like what the Raiders did back to back. So Caleb Rogers and Chuck Grant. I think Grant could potentially kick inside, but those are two really nice offensive line pieces for them. Upton Stout, Savion Jones, like we said, and as well as Ty Felton, the super speedy receiver, yards after catch machine for Minnesota, coming in from Maryland. And then BPA, as we head into day 3, of course, Shador, I think he will get drafted at some point, maybe even a team that didn't even interview him, because at a certain point, like he's talented, and I don't think that you're bringing him in as your backup quarterback or QB3, that like all of the other stuff would come into play. I just don't necessarily see that happening. Jalen Lane, super speedy receiver and return man, is in that mix. Josh Farmer, Scattaboo, Dylan Sampson, Quincy Riley, Ty Robinson, Marcus Bowe that we've talked about. Mitchell Evans is an underrated tight end. Devin Neal, Billy Bowman's one of my favorites. Giddens, Howard, TID, the Vikings did some work on him. Mickens, Jordan James. I thought Jordan James might have been drafted by now. Guess not. Then you have Enhance, which had multiple pages up. Cam Williams, the other Texas tackle, is in there. Stutzman, All-American tackling machine. Damian Martinez, the power running back. JJ Big East, definitely the power running back, as well as great nose tackle. Deion Walker, high variance defensive lineman. Jackson Hawes, great blocking tight end. Ransom is in that mix. Bashil Tootin, who, if he can fix his following problems, he's going to be good. Dorian Strong, super feisty cornerback, I love. David Walker's in that mix. Tommy Hill, he 6 foot 200, plus size cornerback on the outside. Tonka Hemingway. I mean, South Carolina had some dudes on defense, man. All right. So again, there's just going to be like a plethora of really talented players day 3. The Vikings only have 2 bites at this. Aeneas Peebles, I think, is super underrated. Brashard Smith, the Vikings did a lot of work on. Who'd be fun as a gadgety orbit type player or satellite type player. One of the two. Thomas Fedone second, they did work on too. Jalen Travis, local kid. Was it Princeton? Princeton, then Ohio State? I think that's what it is. Lindenberg, Cal McCord. Of course, him and J.J. McCarthy go way back. It's funny. Woody Marks is in that mix. Jake Majors was a 4-year starter at Texas. Josh Gray. Kobe Bean Bryant, who I love. Riley Leonard. John Joyner would be a solid 5-tech for the Vikings. And all these names that we've gone, Cam Jackson, all these names that we've been over 75,000 times are going to be going day 3. It would be nice to have a couple more picks, but it just sort of is what it is at this point. But that's it. That's it. Your thoughts. Take a look at day 2, a little recap action, as well as a looking ahead on who's available day 3. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.